Welcome back to Unqualified and Educated, where we give your unqualified and uneducated opinions on all things sports, music, movies, TV, anime, or anything else that's really interesting. Sorry for the long delay. We've been kind of busy the last week or so, but we're glad to be back. How you doing, Carl?
Right now, just finishing up on my ASMR session.
Oh yeah. Carl's eating right now. I want to get for the listeners out there, if you guys really enjoy podcasts, and you guys should enjoy podcasts because you're listening to our podcast. But one of my good friend of mine, Jay, he just started his own podcast with one of his buddies. It's called the Spark That Talk podcast. If you want to hear some interesting topics, interesting perspectives, relatable perspectives, check them out. They're talking about things like should NCAA players get paid, should they're talking about jobs, trades, things like that. So check those guys out, give them a listen. They got some real good talk out there. So Spark That Talk podcast. I really don't know what platforms they're on. I know they're on YouTube, and I think they might be on iTunes. So check them out. How are you doing, Carl?
I feel very content right now.
You know, are you content? I like that. I've never heard somebody say content. Usually, it's always good.
And content, just like, just I don't know.
It's like, are you really good? Like, what? Tell me what makes it content. Like, there's just nothing bad going on right now.
Oh no, I just finished that little bowl of rice and broccoli. Oh my gosh. The bowl of rice and some tofu and broccoli, and it was nice, as you may have just heard. But it was real nice because I just got to like kind of relax for a second. I've been having that hectic past couple weeks, so it's nice to not have to like do something immediately, or be preparing for something, just like relaxing.
Yeah. No doubt. I mean, I've kind of been the opposite. This last week has been spring break, so really haven't been doing much this week. I worked a little bit this week, been working out a lot, not a lot, but I've been working out a few days this week, kind of chilling, hanging out with friends here and there, but nothing too crazy. I am working on getting my passport right now. So,
where are you gonna go? Mexico?
Yeah, don't know really yet. Don't know right now. I just figured that, it's something that I should have. I do want to go on like a cruise over the summer in Mexico.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
So like, I'm getting that. So I got I stole my birth certificate from my mom. Or
stole it.
I stole it because she was hoarding over it like it was hers. I got the photocopies ready. I got the money order. I got the application that I still need to fill out. So just got it. I got pretty much everything. I just need to. I think it said on the website that you have to have like a government employee watch you sign it or something like that.
What?
You can't sign the document. You have to have somebody watch you sign it. So. Like someone from when you could fill out the application at the post office, or you can make an appointment at the government office or whatever, like some federal building, and then they just watch you sign the document. You can't turn it in pre-signed, and I guess that's just for like security reasons. But I mean, I really don't understand that, because if I have, because you take a picture, and that's the picture that's gonna be on your passport. So I mean, if I'm filling it out, the right person is going to get the passport, no matter who signs it. I mean, even it's not like if someone else stole like all my whole packet, and then they filled out the application, used all my information, and then put like, maybe if they put like a different picture, you think? But no, because you have a photocopy of your driver's license in there.
Honestly, like, the whole idea of signing it, now that I think about it, it really doesn't make sense. Just like how on my freaking driver's license, like there's my signature from when I was 15 or
Mm-hmm.
whenever I got it.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck is the point of that being on the driver's license?
No, that is
Because
true.
if they ask me to like sign something for some reason as proof, because that's what my signature is on my driver's license, it's different now.
No,
Like I
it's
changed it.
no, that is true, bro. Like that happened to me at Bank of America. I opened up my account at Bank of America when I was 13 or 14, and I signed the, they tell you to sign for your signature. So like the next time you come in or whatever, and you sign it exactly like you signed it.
You hit that like that fourth grade cursive
Yeah,
signature
like
where you read out your whole first name.
yeah, you can actually see letters, and like my signature actually had letters in it back when I was 14. So then it was like 3 years ago that I had lost my card. I think I lost my whole wallet, and they were like, "Okay, we'll help you get it." And for some reason, the lady up front told me to sign like the little touchpad, like I would
Oh yeah.
sign like I signed it the first time I opened an account, and then I wasn't even thinking of anything. I just used my new signature that looked like it looks like one that is more like I use today, like an adult signature. And she said, "That's not how you signed it the last time," and I was like, I don't know. I don't
What?
remember how I signed it the last time. She's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, the last time I signed something was when I first opened this account. And she was like, "When did you open it?" I was like, I would think I was like 14. And then she was like, "Oh." And then so they had to like, she had to get the manager, and then like they like I told them like all my information, and then they were like, "Okay, well what we'll do is we'll send your temporary card to an address that's on your bank account, but we can't like give you a temporary card." So that's
That's ridiculous.
but like it's cause I understand a little bit because I didn't have my ID, so they they were like, "Oh well, we can't give you it there, but we'll send it to your address." So I had to like wait a week. I had to wait a week for the card to come in, all because I couldn't sign like I signed when I was 14. The guy screwed over my 14-year-old signature being lame.
I know.
That it was my fault. It was my fault. If I can go back in time and talk to my 14-year-old self, I would just be like, "Hey, bruh, like, come on, dog, sign better,
Be fancy, bruh.
bruh. Don't use letters in your cursive. Nobody even writes cursive anymore."
You
It's,
should, bruh. You should only be able to read the first letter of your first name
and the
and the first
last
letter
name.
of your last name.
That is so true. Like
That's all that matters.
and I'm at the point where I don't even know if that's an R or not on my cursive. When I started, I could see the C, but like now it's just like it looks like a heart pulse. Like like it just looks like a freaking. It's before it flatlines. It's like dee 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 dee. Honest, what is that machine where it checks your heart like when you're in the ICU and you're hooked up to that thing, the heart monitor or whatever?
Yeah,
That's what
that
my
sounds
thing looks
right.
like. It looks like a D D D D D D D C D D D D D D D D D. You can see the D in my last name too, but that's it. That's it. Um, yeah. Hey, actually, okay. So if you could go back and like speak to your 14-year-old self, is there anything you would say to yourself, or warn yourself, or do, or would you even talk to your 14-year-old self?
Honestly, I probably wouldn't talk to my 14-year-old self because I feel like I'm like pretty happy where I'm at right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole butterfly effect
That is
would
true.
change like your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I'd want my life to change. Like I
Mm.
feel like I've had a solid life, and the bad stuff that happened, it's all right. Bad crap happens, you get over it and you move on, and it like builds you into whoever you are today, type of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I don't know if I'd say anything to myself. Maybe see, even like if I was like, oh, maybe put like $50 or like all of your savings into Apple type of
No,
thing or
yeah, 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 yeah,
Amazon.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because even that would f up your
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
not f up your life, but it would change your life so much.
Drastically.
So
That would
like
even dead. That's
I don't
actually
know.
you're right. You're right. I think I like that because I also have to agree with you. I pretty much love my life how it is.
Yeah.
It's still moving forward and it's still developing. It's not, I'm still building towards like my life, but everything that I've planned out or how my new plans have changed or things like that, it's all working towards continued success. But I don't think I would want to tell myself to change anything, but I definitely would want to squat up with myself. If there was no butterfly effect, I
Oh
definitely
yeah,
think
yeah.
I would
Like,
want to
you're like,
squat
what's
up.
up, dog?
Yeah, squat up with myself. Try to shoot. Play some video games with myself or something like that, which would be kind of cool. Or like, I would just watch myself from afar because there's like some things that I want to remember, you know, maybe not happened when I was 14, but maybe that I probably would want to remember right now, like moments or like things that I like remembering, like songs, or
Oh
remembering
yeah, yeah.
moments. I wouldn't want to like necessarily change my past, but just remember my past better. Maybe something like that. Get that nostalgia effect going on. You know what I mean? I think that I would
Yeah.
I would take that because
Or just give like real basic advice, like something I didn't start doing until I was in like in college
mm-hmm,
was for no reason I decided to brush my teeth left-handed.
mm,
So maybe just tell my 14-year-old self, hey, try brushing your teeth left-handed.
mm,
Honestly, it doesn't get me anywhere new. It's just I just brush my teeth left-handed now.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
some people might think I'm left-handed when I'm brushing my teeth, but then I go out and if like I'm brushing my teeth before they'll pick a basketball game, like, oh, he's a lefty, I'm gonna guard his left hand. And then I just blow by them with the right hand and they're like, what the heck? You know?
I get, yeah. I mean, yeah, okay, okay. I like that. I like that. Only thing I would probably tell myself, yeah, if we're talking about like giving advice towards the future, I think the only thing I would say would just be like work out some more. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
like the only thing I would probably say. It's just just work out some more or take weightlifting and during football practice more serious. Just because it's something that I'm doing now, and like I like I always while I'm lifting or I'm working out, I'm like, man, not even to like make it to like the NFL or like be like in a pro in a pro setting. It would just be just to make it easier for me now. It's like, man, I wish I would have got a jump start on this sooner as far as
Yeah,
like
for sure.
weightlifting and exercise. So just take that more serious because like one thing I realize now that I really didn't realize when I was younger, you had all like when you're in high, especially when you're in high school, you had all the time in the world just to like work out and stay in shape.
Oh, I know.
Like you literally had no unless you went and got a job or you joined a football team or a sports team or like an academic team or something like that, or you did some type of leadership program. Going home and you literally had 8 hours just to work out and better yourself in certain ways. But if that's only if there's no butterfly effect, like it'd be like
Yeah.
you'd be put in the same position now with just little tweaks here and there.
Do you
But
think, because I was also just now thinking, like, I mean, because I feel like I don't care what people say to me or what people think about me. Like, if I went to my 14-year-old self and be like, Brett, just don't care what people think about.
mm,
But then, I guess, first thing, would that mess me up, like butterfly effect style? Second thing, would 14-year-old me even take that advice? Like, oh yeah, that random ass person,
yeah,
told me not to care what people think about me and just like kind of live my life
however you want.
you know?
I don't know. Like, so that's a good question because there's certain experiences that happened when I was younger that made us both, or there's experience that happened to you that made you who you are today, and there's experience that I've had that made me who I am today. Like when like I didn't do so well in preparing for like a report in like high school, and like I'm like have to present this report or whatever to the class, and I really didn't do anything, and like I'm like super anxious in class and like nervous.
Right.
So like and everything turned out all right because from that I learned how to pretty much how like the bullshit, and I learned that I have what they call the gift of the gab, is you can just get up there and talk. So like I learned that I have that, I can do that, and me from that experience that in that speech project in like 10th grade English built me for the future. So you're saying like what if I told myself don't worry about that, you'll be fine no matter what? You think
Yeah.
maybe I don't develop that ability
Yeah.
as
Like,
soon?
I wonder.
And then the
Or
second
do you
question,
just develop it faster?
yeah, that's it. It could either go negative or positive. I mean, if it's positive, I mean, I would just be, yeah, it would just be developed faster. Because I wouldn't say I developed it at that moment, but like I guess like that was like the beginning of me developing it. Because I still had to learn that I was like, okay, I'm able to do public speaking. This is fine. But like, if I was to tell myself, you are a public speaker, you can speak in front of a public, maybe at that moment, it just skyrockets from there.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then the second question you said, would you even care? I don't know. Unless you explicitly told yourself that I'm you from the future, I think you would just take that advice as another old person. Because let's face it, when we were both 14, we both would probably have thought a 26 and 27-year-old guy or 25 and 26, 27-year-old guy is probably super old and just telling us what old people say. So you might not even taking that advice seriously unless you said, Carl, I'm you from the future. I'm you from the future.
But, which if you said that, then you would definitely screw up.
Yeah.
Like your future, so I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. I mean,
if you could go back and change one thing and it would not have any of like butterfly effect on like who you are right now and the people around you, what would you go back and try to like change? I guess you could like what I'm saying is like you have the option that you could go back and like invest in something or
so
choose a different path, but you still end up where you are right now today.
Okay, so like, yeah, that's interesting. So I think because I feel like if I say anything else, it would be like I'm disappointed in what I am today. So I'm not gonna say like I would go back and like work at some aspect of school. Because I turned out fine, but like I would go with what you said, more of that investing money idea, and just stockpiling money. Not so much because, it's just it's you realize that, it's just easier to stack up money when you're younger, because you literally have no expenses and you don't have to worry about anything. But like I don't know, just putting like maybe like $200 into an investing account, and just letting it like accrue and putting every so often just investing and stuff like that, because I'm doing that now, and I'm building that retirement fund now, and I'm saving, and people have told me like, oh, you're way ahead of where I used to be, and I do have a decent amount, like a really really good amount in my like retirement portfolio or investment portfolio, whatever you want to call it. So I have, it's actually bigger than I thought, and it's constantly like accruing, and I'm adding money in there every so often. So there's that, but it's just, get an even bigger head start. And there's also like investing in Amazon and things like that. So I think that's the one thing. I wouldn't say like look at the lottery, because that's just too hard to predict. And I wouldn't, if I was to go back in time at this moment, I still wouldn't know any of the numbers that won the lottery. So there's no way to say pick this one or something like that. There's just, unless you brought a freaking, what is that, an almanac or something from the future with you, and you were just hell bent on winning the lottery. I think then that's one way you could do it.
If I tried to remember the numbers, I'd honestly, the person I am right now, I'd probably freak out so much in remembering the order of the numbers that I'd flip-flop them and then give the wrong numbers. Ultimately screwing myself.
That's a lot of pressure.
So I doubt I would take that path of the lottery.
So what would you do? What would you try to change or improve?
I don't know. Maybe giving more genuine effort. Like, make sure that I gave more genuine effort in, like, trying to get educated in high school. Like, actually learning history in history class, or learning English when I was in English class. Because, like, I know I have a very poor knowledge of that stuff. Like, I know the major things that every person knows, But, like, when it comes down to the finer things, or, like, just, like, legitimately, like, 1940 whatever people like when they hear dates, they're like, "Oh yeah, that's when World War II was happening," so they
Yeah.
know all this stuff on top of it. And I'm like, honestly, I don't even remember like from class when World War II was happening. And it makes me feel like dumb
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. So I just wish that I paid more attention in school when I was actually going up, because I guess that stuff matters.
Yeah. Yeah. No, no, I know what you mean. That kind of goes back to like our last episode when we were talking about passing that citizenship test.
Oh yeah.
So like,
Hey, but we was killing that
oh yeah,
test.
yeah, we were killing that test. Yeah, 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 yeah. No, facts, facts. So I like this whole like trip down memory lane. Kind of, I'll tell you why. Like I asked that question because there's a documentary on. I don't know if I told you or not. We talked about it, but there's a documentary on Netflix. It's called like they have one season's called the '80s, then they have another season called the '90s, and they have another season called the 2000, and it kind of recaps like everything that happened during each decade. So like I kind of like can't watch in and out of the '80s because it just wasn't my decade. Wasn't even born yet. The '90s, we were born in the '90s, but like I wasn't cognitive of what's going on in the '90s.
Right.
And then so like then like I would say like even though we were born in the '90s, I would say like the 2000s were really like our decade-ish. You know what I mean? Because that's
Yeah.
when like that's when I was like aware of things that were happening around me. So it was kind of cool to see like the things that were happening and the things that like I grew up with. Like they talked about like the iPod coming together, and they talked about like iPod song commercials and things like that. And I was like, yo,
Oh my gosh.
I
I
hear
forgot
that.
about that.
Like I remember there was a song that I heard. It was a song, and then like that song played so much on every commercial back when we were in high school that I was like, that just brought me back to like sophomore year in high school when my friend had bought that iPod, and he had that same song that was on a commercial on his iPod, and every algebra 2 class I would listen to that song in class. That kind of goes back to what you said. I should have paid more attention in class. Like I remember that math class. I was actually listening to music in algebra 2. Shout out to you, Mr. Wolf. Still passed me with that good grade though. But no, yeah. So that's just what it was. It was just watching that doc because they talked about. It was funny because they talked about Amazon coming up from like this small internet company to this dynamic giant industry that's like wiping out businesses today. They talked about how Apple and Microsoft, Steve Jobs and like that whole like tech kind of Silicon Valley ish like stuff, like how they were building. They talked about the growth of Google, Facebook, things like that. So it was honestly, if you guys out there have a chance to watch it, my description didn't do it any justice, but it's a pretty cool documentary to watch. Like I would say for me, it was the 2000s, just because that's what I was born in, or not born in, but that's when I was like cognitive of my world. That's when like I realized that the world was a bigger place.
Yeah.
And then
And if I try to think about it, I couldn't tell you anything that I remember from like the 90s,
exactly.
because that's the first 7 years of my life, and
Mm-hmm.
like I can remember like moments from when I'm a kid, but I can't remember what age I was at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
I just know something happened when I was a kid. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Like it's just that's like I don't think people can blame you. Like we're born in the '90s, but like I feel like I was born in '92 and you were '93, so that's like our first 7 and 8 years of our lives. So we're just
Yeah.
like basically you're just trying to survive and just grow. Like you're still, your parents are picking you up from school, they're feeding you, they're like
They're wiping your butt
wiping your butt, getting your clothes ready. You're just coming
when
into.
you're 8.
Bro, I was thinking, why am I agreeing with this fool? I know this fool's about to turn this into something else. I was like, why am I even agreeing with this guy? I was like, oh, dang. But yeah, like, so to that when the 2000s, I would say both of us, that's when we was real. Because they talked about like things like the recession in the 2000s. Like
Right.
I remember that, and I was like, I didn't like. It talks about like the wide scope about how like it was like a stadium had stadium opened up, and it had like I think like 700 or to 1,000 jobs, right? And they said like 15,000 people showed up for the job interview, and I was like, dang.
That's crazy.
that's crazy. And people were like crying because like they were going to get the job, and they were talking about how the stock market crashed because like the people in Wall Street and all the corruption with like Exxon and all these other big time companies and the federal bank coming in and saving these people but not saving these other companies. But like it was like I was like, yo, that's crazy. I knew what was going on, but I didn't know like that was the source of it. So it's a good doc to watch, and it's like for me it was cool because it was like one of the first like good docs in a while that Netflix put out. So I was like that one's pretty cool.
Yeah, I
So
might have to check that out. It
yeah,
sounds really interesting.
no, check that one out. And there's also another one. It's called The Devil That We Know. And at first, yeah, that sounds like super like, okay, I'm not watching that at night. But no, it's talking about the Teflon products. And it was talking
I don't
about
know what Teflon is.
I didn't know either, but it was talking they're basically this company that had this, and I'm butchering this because like I watched it like when I was like passed out.
Brad, you are the qualified expert on this podcast.
I am
this
super
topic right now.
super. Oh, I am the most I'm the most qualified, which is kind of sad. But so basically, it's this company that made like nonstick pans, nonstick. All these. They made like all these like chemically or manufactured products that we were using to cook on, put clothes in, all like plastic products, all that stuff, right? And they were owned by the DuPonts or the DuPoints or whatever. And DuPonts, I think that's what they were.
Isn't that the fool who killed the wrestler?
That's what I thought too. Yeah, let me see if I'm saying that wrong. DuPont Tef.
Just ask Siri.
Yeah, no, yeah. DuPont. Yeah, same people. So they had these factories that are making these products, right? And the chemical waste, they were dumping it into the rivers and the lakes in that area it's like in the middle of America, right? And then like people are like over the course of like years, people are like there's like a guy that was born with like half of his nose missing, his eye was messed up. People are like, it's affecting like the community, and then like the company was like asking. Had their own like scientists like investigating them. They had their own scientists checking their products, and their scientists back in like the 60s and the 70s and the 80s telling them this stuff isn't safe. Don't put it in the water system. Don't do this, and they still do it anyway. And then they had so like there's just like it's like this whole thing. It explains what it is. It goes through the court cases. It goes through everything. And it's just a really good documentary to watch. It's almost a little unsettling because they talk about these chemical products, and then you realize that the chemical product that they were talking about is in like almost everything that we use. And they talked about how like everyone in the world is almost affected by this and has some form of this chemical in their bloodstream, just because it's like in chemicals that we spray, like cleaning products with, like oven cleaner. It's in that. It's in like nonstick pans. It's like it's hard to get away from it now. And the final point that I remember from this whole Teflon documentary basically was they stopped using the chemical that infected everybody and hurt all these people in like this middle of America. I forgot where it was exactly, but this middle of America state and city in that state. They stopped using it and they stopped manufacturing it, but they made a new chemical.
Oh my god!
That no one even knows what the effects are, and they're using that chemical today, and they're getting away with it because that chemical doesn't have sanctions by like the government or whatever. Like the other chemical did because it was tested, but this one's a new chemical, so it has yet to go through all that testing and sanctions. So they're using that just willy nilly. And this documentary, like, this is current. This is like 2016, 2017, like what it covered. And I just pulled up something I just typed it in DuPont Teflon. And the first thing that popped up was DuPont offers a $670 million settlement for Teflon products. So, and this came out in February 2017 for Teflon chemical contamination of water. So this is like this is current, and they just talked about how like different. It's like this is a big game that everybody's a part of using these products. It's like it got me thinking like, do I still like stay away from those like things that just are too good to be true, like a non-stick pan. Okay, like of course that's not going to be normal. It's what do we cook with? We cook with metal. Metal's going to stick. Just use metal that's stickable. All right. If you're going to use those chemical sprays, get a face mask. Open up every window in the house. Do not use that like oven cleaner. Do not use things in closed spaces. It has me thinking like really like how we go about things, and we both know about like how I think we both watched that documentary on the plastics. So we know like how bad plastic itself is. So it's basically that, just like we have to, and the scary thing is, this is what the scary thing is. No matter how careful we are at this point in our lives, we don't know how much of these chemicals are already in our system.
Man, this is just depressing.
I'm sorry.
You done turned me down to the depressed dumps, bro.
I'm sorry. So like the other day I was putting on lotion. And I was like, I don't even know what's in this bottle. And this bottle is seeping directly into my skin. So like I don't even know what that. This one thing in my life that I've been pretty successful with is I'm not an anti-vaxxer or anti-vaxxer or whatever. But up until the point where I've like had all of my shots and everything, and I'm good to go, right? I haven't necessarily been a guy that's been too keen on taking medication and drugs and stuff like that willy nilly. So that's the one thing that I have going for me as far as my body isn't dependent on chemicals or hasn't been offset by chemical medication. You know what I mean? So I think that's the one thing I've gone for me. But other than that, like you got to be careful with all these products, man.
That's crazy, man.
I was
saying all this, and I got these headphones in my ears, probably giving me cancer.
You just don't know. And
sitting next to this mic, bruh.
I
radiating out this Teflon crap into my forehead.
You just don't know, because like I'm thinking right now, I got the laptop on, the TV's on, the refrigerator's running. The oven's on. We got all this stuff going on around us, and we don't even know. And the one thing that they were stressing is the effects of this, the true effects, we won't know until like a long time after we're dead. Like the true like generational effects. So it's like yo, like we really are killing this planet. Like there's no doubts about it.
Yeah, that's the suckiest thing about humans. Well, we just took advantage of the planet. We're gonna kill it. We're gonna take it down with us. All we had to do to be successful was just take care of her.
I mean,
it's so frustrating.
It's frustrating, but how? Like, because I drive a car.
I know.
I drive a car. I use plastic, not as much as I used to, but I still use some degree. I use plastics. I still do this. I do that. I have renewable energy. I guess I do this. So I'm still contributing. So it's like, as a human race, like I don't know how I guess we just don't move into the future with technology, and then we're just in huts.
Or there'll be something in technology so advanced that we can figure out how to correct some of the messes that we've created. Maybe that's why people keep pushing forward.
Well, I've seen that movie. And everything that usually
iRobot.
Yeah, everything that's so advanced that it can fix the Earth usually starts by removing the biggest problem with the Earth, and that's killing the people. Like you are so freaking right about that. Like everything that starts with we built this technology, it's gonna save like the pollution that happens in the Earth and the contaminants, and the first thing they do is just turn around and start offing humans. It's like they don't even think. The robots don't even think. They just like, okay, kill, like destroy the primary target against the Earth, and it's usually us.
Honestly, like in any movie like that, or any of those like mystery movies, what I'm talking about, I guess, I don't know, like War of the Worlds type of crap like that. where it's always like gotta wipe out this population because it's destroying what it's living in anyways.
Yeah,
Who cares?
yeah.
We're just like cockroaches on the earth.
It is, bro. It really. I don't want to call out any country or anything because that's gonna sound racist, but it's like, yeah, we just multiply, take over space, and just leave our garbage everywhere.
I know.
And then they got I think it's the Pacific garbage patch just in the ocean.
Oh yeah.
That's like the most depressing thing I've ever seen in the world.
I know. I did a paper on that, and it was probably the saddest thing I ever did.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's the worst because it's like you finding, like if it started out with like you find birds full of stomachs with plastic, but I think recently they found another well and they had nothing but plastic in its stomach, and it's like dang, that freaking sucks just to know about that. But yeah, I didn't know that was gonna take us down to the dumps.
Yeah, bro, you took us straight into the dumps, but I mean, that's what we needed to go to.
I mean, basically. I mean, I don't really know how you solve those solutions other than like killing plastic at this very moment. Like at this moment, you just stop with plastic, but plastic is such a huge part of our lives. I use it. Um,
No.
it's like, and it's like I said, when I watched that documentary with you, like I stopped on my plastic usage by a lot. Like only time I use plastic really is like I don't really know. I guess when packages come in through like when I order something, there's plastic, and sometimes when I go to grocery shopping, I get the plastic bags just because those paper bags ain't worth shit. Um, I'm sorry, those ain't worth nothing. I know it's a good, healthy, earth friendly alternative, but as soon as I put something in the bag and I grab it from the cash register and try to put I try to put it in the basket. I'm talking about just from the cat. The cashier hands it to me, and I take it from the cashier and I put it in the cart. It's already ripped, so I was like, I can't do it. And then something, like I gotta get from my car to the house, and it's like I gotta carry like 7. I want to carry like 8, all the bags at once. I only want to do one trip. Can't do that with paper bags.
You can't. You really can't.
Paper bags. You get 2 in one arm. Or you get one bag per arm, and that's it.
The way to go is most stores now sell like not like they're reusable plastic bags, but the ones that cost like $1.
Yeah.
Like my family has a ton of them, like 20 plus. So whenever I go to the grocery store, I take one of them, and they're actually better than plastic bags because they can hold more weight and everything. So I like to use that whenever I do go to the store.
I guess that's a good alternative for me that I probably would need to do too. And then, like as a whole, grocery store should just get rid of plastic bags and start making more heavy duty brown bags, I guess.
Yeah. Which I thought they did that anyways.
I thought they did. I thought because I know when
it's like, because there's that time it was like, oh, now you have to pay like what 10, 15 cents for a plastic bag.
Yeah.
But then like, I don't know if that's still a thing. And maybe it is. But I don't know.
I think it is, but like I've noticed I've been able to talk my way into free bags a lot.
Yeah, like if you're paying and then you like already type in all your stuff and you hit OK and enter like, yeah, I'm down to pay this much, and then they're like, oh, did you want a bag? I'm like, oh well, I guess. It's like they're not gonna make you pay them 10 cents right there.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're like super nice to them, and we already talked about this, how much I lie to cashiers in one of the previous episodes. So like they're already like, oh, this guy's a nice guy. So like they're already giving me free bags out the U-Haul. You know what I mean? So it's just like I'm getting these plastic bags, baby, whether you like it or not. I'm a plastic bag connoisseur, and I'm getting them bags. But I'm gonna pay for those like those dollar bags, the reusable one. Enough's enough. Enough's enough.
Yeah, I mean. The best that we can do individually is just as much as we can do, or that we're willing to do, I guess. But as much as we can do on our own, and then just kind of trying to spread the message or something.
No, yeah. I mean, cause like it's just like, cause like You know, when I think about it, plastic has really not helped my life out in any way. I can
Yeah.
really think about all the times that I've used plastic, and there's always been another solution.
Yeah, I'm
Now,
trying to think of something that's like plastic. I mean, I don't really use plastic every day. The only thing is like some snacks that I get. Like, what
mm,
are those bags? Are those plastic bags? Like a chips bag. That's plastic, right?
I, yeah,
You know?
I don't know.
Isn't that plastic?
That's
Because
like,
it's like you open it, but it's like low key like metallic.
that's what I'm saying. It's a plastic tinfoil. It's a plastic tinfoil hybrid.
it's
And
it's the most confusing.
I know freaking AJ is gonna hop in the comment section with the answer to it. But I don't know what the plastic bag chip thing is. I think the logical answer would be plastic, but like you said, it's more metallic. So I think it's like
It's
it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid bag,
the, the hybrid bag. So
which is
with
probably
like
worse.
yeah,
It's probably worse.
probably.
It's just Super Saiyan plastic.
But yeah, I think it's just like some stuff that I buy is like wrapped in plastic. Not as much as like, oh, I got on my way to use plastic. Uh, but it's just like what I buy.
Yeah.
Like if I bought a head of lettuce, right,
Uh huh.
to make me some salads, wrapped in plastic.
Yep.
I got what else did I get? Well, like chips. If you get a bag of chips,
Plastic.
potentially plastic.
It's, yeah. Yeah.
But it's like everything is just like packaged in plastic.
It is.
So how do we prevent the things that we want to buy from being packaged in plastic?
Well, it just starts with like, 'cause, yeah, I don't think we can because the whole point of plastics and things like that is supposed to keep the food fresh for mass production. And there's just so many of us. I mean, it's just you can't get around that mass production. Like unless you figure out you create something else that's recyclable and environmental friendly that can hold things, and the food won't deteriorate as fast as they would. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know if they do make something, it'll probably be worse than plastic. So I think it just
Well, there's like the egg cartons, aren't there? Like cardboardy egg cartons.
I don't know. I just remember if okay, is it cardboard or styrofoam? Because I remember the styrofoam was
No,
like the
because like there's
worst.
some of them that are like straight up styrofoam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then there's some that are it's like that. It's like an egg carton, but I don't know how to explain it. It's like it feels like it's like board, like
Oh
cardboard. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah. I remember I was trying to get some of that to turn into like a studio room.
Your soundproof.
You remember that, right? Yeah.
The home studio.
Yeah, I remember trying to make the home studio. Yeah. I remember that stuff. I remember that. Yeah.
Like that type of egg carton. Like, why don't they only make that type of egg carton? Why do they have styrofoam? And on top of that, now they even have like see-through plastic egg cartons.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. I don't know. That's a good question. I think that's something that our fans could look up and let us know in the comment section. Because obviously, like, we're unqualified, and you guys are understanding the nature of this podcast.
Damn, boy.
You guys know what we do. We're not the podcast with the best audio, as AJ's pointing out in the comment section. We're not the podcast with the best visuals, but we come to you and we let you know how we feel, and we don't lie about it. That's the best thing we got going for us. We ain't lying about anything.
And we got the best personalities up in here, bro.
The best. Name a podcast better. Wait, never. Hey, bars all day. You can bring up any podcast you want. We can get into a rap battle with them right now, and we'll win that hands down. And
I told some students that at my work that I had a SoundCloud and I was a rapper on SoundCloud, and my name was C Easy, and they're like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm a rapper." They're like, "No lie," and I was like, "Yeah, I came out with an album, and it's called Math Don't Lie." They started dying laughing. I was like, "You guys are idiots." Just walked away. Or, no, or it was something like, yeah, or it was like, Matt don't sleep.
Hey, that might be like that might be a clean track. Maybe you should be one of those teachers that make like songs for their class.
Yeah, nah.
That'd be kind of dope. So like, let me see. Like we're at about 45 minutes on this right now.
There you go.
Kind of turned into we kind of went to like this environmental friendly episode.
It's because we pro Mother Nature, man.
We are pro Mother Nature, and
we're looking out for old Mama Nature.
She took care of us good.
Oh, baby Mama Nature.
Oh dang, she ain't. Oh dang.
Nah, sorry, just Mama Nature.
Hey man, she a strong, independent woman, man.
Right, that's my bad.
You said, baby Mama Nature. She about to, a tsunami's about to hit Fresno right now.
I looked at my window right now, waiting for something to fly through it.
Yeah, she's about to say, "Oh, you gonna disrespect me?" Yo, did you just mansplain Mother? Oh no!
I'm so sorry.
Did you try to mansplain to Mother Nature?
Oh, Mother Nature, I'm sorry.
The strongest woman of all time. Next,
shoot.
Next is Oprah, followed by. I don't think you go anywhere from that.
Oprah's next to Mother Nature.
Not next to, but like she's maybe like 4 tiers down.
Oh, okay, yeah.
4 tiers down,
Right.
It goes Oprah. I mean, it goes Mother Nature, then Oprah, But when Oprah dies, I think that's when she becomes a legend.
One with Mother Nature.
She might, because we're gonna put her into the ground, right?
Right.
Well, not we. I won't be.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna say that because then now if something happens to Oprah, we'll be accused for it.
Ooh. This was all allegedly. No, but yeah. Eventually, when she becomes a legend, immortalized through her passing, she will be one with Mother Nature, and we will refer to Mother Nature as Oprah. And there will be
oh, you guys better respect Oprah, or it's gonna rain tonight.
And then there will be a subsect of people that will worship. I think honestly, there will be a group of people that was like 100 years from now that will worship Oprah.
Oh, definitely.
In the future, and like how we do like Gandhi and stuff like that. There will be a group of people that worship Oprah. I will not be one of those people because I never watched an episode of her show, so it won't be me.
Me neither. Yeah.
It won't be me. Unless, maybe I write a book in the future and she puts me on her book club.
Won't be me until she gives me a car.
You get a car. You get a car under your seat.
I want a car.
She's going to be like, Carl, I don't know if you noticed this whole time while you've been watching the show, but under your seat, and you start cupping your hands. You don't even know what it is. It's a car. How do you not know a car was under your seat? I don't know, but you get a car. You get a car. You get a car.
Man, she probably just did all that for tax write-offs or some crap.
Exactly. There's no such thing in this world as a free gift. I don't care what anybody says. You got to do something. You got to do something for that gift eventually. Whether it's, you get, I don't have a good example right now. So it just sounds like I'm super bitter about life. I'm really not.
We love life and we love Mother Nature.
We love life. We just love this earth, man. Because we live here, man. We ain't got another place. I know people are talking about, Elon Musk might be making rocket ships. He might be making his cars fly to Mars.
That's why they're so damn expensive, because they're going to all turn into spaceships.
Yeah, I think Elon Musk is just preparing the select few, the people that have Teslas. Ask them to let you drive that thing on your own. Probably won't happen. You know why? Because each one of those Teslas are rocket ships, right? And when the time comes, Elon Musk and his garaband of married men and women are just going to fly off the planet. And we won't know.
Tesla's just flying into that.
And we won't know because they're so damn quiet. So y'all be ready for Elon Musk and his freaking cavalry just to fly off the earth with every update Personally, with every update that comes out for the Tesla, I get scared because I'm like, it's one step closer for them leaving us.
Oh
And
man, I
I,
hope he has a big enough parking lot on Mars, bruh.
oh man, there should be enough park because it's how big Mars is like twice as big as us, or like three times. Mars is
No
Mars is
idea.
Mars is big. Mars is big. So like
Mars is pretty big though.
Mars pretty big. So he's gonna have a lot of parking. But one thing they're not gonna have with all their flying rocket ship cars, they ain't gonna have any water up there, as far as I know.
That's the truth.
So Elon Musk, you need to figure out how to make water first. You got to bring a whole bunch of H2Os up there, bro. Bring a whole bunch of hydrogen and oxygen with you, bro.
Good luck, my man.
Good luck, bro. If you could do it, I mean, if anybody could do it, it'd be you, dog. Okay. If that's not even a good. I don't even know how to ask that question because
No, ask it, bruh.
like, who are you bringing to
Oh.
Mars
Whoa.
and starting a new colony with if the Earth just explodes and then Elon Musk's like, here's my spaceship. I wanted to
How
see.
many people do I get?
Oof. See, that's what I don't know how to. I don't know because like, how many people should you get? Enough to build civilization, right?
Oh my gosh, it's just me choosing.
The chosen ones. Like you're gonna
Oh.
choose like a team of engineers, aerospace engineers to build the facilities. You got to have scientists to make the air. You got to have doctors, and you have to have like the agricultural people that can farm. You're gonna have to
I'm
have.
gonna immediately give up my position and defer to somebody else because that's not a decision for me to make.
Mm,
I don't got that power, and I am not one to choose who deserves to go onto a different planet and start the colonies.
okay.
I'll just live out my life right here.
I was actually getting to that. I think honestly, if that was that choice, I would want to know how bad is the Earth.
Right.
Is it like how bad? Are we talking like, are there volcanoes right now? Or there will be volcanoes like 20, 30 years from now? Like, tell me how bad it will be. And if there's people staying, I might stay here. If it's like, the Earth is like, say if I'm like in my 30s and they're like, oh, you got like 50 more years left on the Earth before it explodes. I'd be like, yeah, I'll be all
I'm
right.
doing it.
I'll just chill here. I just chill here.
But then you're stuck to the fact that it's like, better not have no kids, or
Yeah,
else
that's
just effed up.
Yeah, then you have an obligation to never have kids.
Yeah.
Like you should never bring, because that's just like there's no hope. Like there's no hope. I mean, if you had a family at the time, yeah, I would move to Mars with the fam.
Do you think people think that right now? Like realistically, they think, why should I have kids? There's no hope for the future, and that's why they don't have kids.
I think so. I really do. I think there are people like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because like, okay, so like, there's different perspectives. There's the obvious perspective, the religious aspect, right? Some people really think that we're in that. Not think, but there's people that really believe that we're in the end of times. You know what I mean? And growing up in like churches and stuff like that, like that's kind of etched into my mind. And I, not gonna lie, like there's a lot of that belief in me too, that we're living the end of times, right? So like society could just fall at any point, and then like the horsemen of the apocalypse is just gonna pop up one day, and it's a wrap. Then the rapture happens. You're either going up or you're stuck here. So
You're going up.
you're either floating up or you're stuck here. So there's that, right? And then people are like, why would I bring a child into this world when it's like this, all the sin and corruption and just
Right.
war that could potentially happen? Because I think that's one of the signs is like every country is going to go to war. And sometimes you wake up and you hear these, I wouldn't even call it fake news, but you hear these reports and it's like, yo, is it about to happen? Like, are we all going to war? So there's those people that are like, I don't want to bring a child into this world. There's like those that's from a religious aspect, whether you're Christian, Catholic, Mormon, whatever, Islamic. There's that aspect. And then there's the people then you have the people that just are nihilists about everything, and they just are just super depressed, and they're like not even depressed. They're just like have like a negative look on life and everything, and they just don't see like the point of bringing life into a world that's just built to make you feel bad. And I probably butchered that nihilist thing, but it's been like 7 years since I was in philosophy. So suck it. Unqualified, uneducated, baby.
Bro, I don't even know what you meant by nihilist. That's a thing, huh?
Yeah, that's the thing. Let me look it up actually, so I can get this nihilist.
I guess it's different though because we have positive outlook. I guess it depends. If you have a negative outlook on life and you feel like if you bring some kid in,
Right.
then you pass on the negative outlook to that kid.
Okay. So look at this. This is what it is: the rejection of all religious beliefs and moral principles, and the belief, like you believe that life is meaningless.
Meaningless.
So there's no point in having kids. So there's that perspective. Like you're like, there's no point in doing that. Life is meaningless. I'm just here to exist, then die.
What the hell? That's crazy.
So I think you have like those two perspectives, and there's like another one that's neither nihilist or religious, where you just feel like, global warming's happening. Well, not after this winter because it was hella cold. But you had global warming happening. You had like the oceans are messed up. The oceans aren't what they used to be. There's animals that are dying. Forests are going down.
Deers are zombies.
Deers are turning to zombies. The DuPonts are out there blowing up middle America. There's Teflon products in the water.
Not have laughed at that.
That's a real thing, actually. So like, then there's those people that are like, yo, this world is gonna be bad. We don't know when. I think everyone that's living right now is praying that it's happening. This is gonna happen. So there's maybe you're so far removed from your kids that you don't really feel that deep of a connection to your great or like your great grandkids. So there's like that perspective. So you're like, or there's a perspective where you're like, I don't want anybody in my family line to experience like lava in Sacramento. Like nobody should have to experience a volcano erupting in Fresno. Like, there's stuff like that. Or like, all the ocean dried up or nothing in the ocean the ocean's just full of trash and the water is purple and, we start a war and everybody's using atomic bombs. So there's like there's like different perspectives why people just would believe the earth is over. And then there's just a scientific perspective that you can't deny that the world is going to be like 200 years from now, the world really might not be around because we're messing it up right now.
I don't know. Maybe the more advanced we get, the more safe all the crap we use gets somehow. And it starts reversing back everything. I always think there's hope for the future. That's why I want to have a kid. Because what if that's the kid? That's the person who comes up with one of these like brilliant things,
Yeah. Way to be humble, bro.
No. I'm gonna have a kid that creates a shark made out of Persimmons, and it's gonna go eat plastic for breakfast, and it's not gonna output anything. It's just gonna make it into more Persimmons.
First of all, I don't know I don't know what Persimmons is. I thought you said
made it up, bro. It's a new material, homie.
I thought you were talking about like Persimmons. Persimmons? I was like,
it was a play off of Persimmons.
I
guess I got some inspiration from Persimmons.
Oh, yeah, I was like, you're gonna name it after that whack ass fruit? That is like the wackest fruit that there's ever been.
Persimmons are actually fire.
No, they're disgusting. I think I had one, bro. I swear it tastes like a tomato. I swear I had one.
Tomatoes are fire.
That was the nastiest fruit I ever had in my life, bro. Persimmons are so whack. Like, if you guys are out there eating persimmons, man, that's on you. But don't bring that around. Bring some persimmon smoothie to me, bro.
Persimmon smoothie, what the hell?
I'm just gonna dump it in your face, bro. It's a wrap. I'm gonna look at you in the eyes and just pour it out. So don't bring that around me, bro.
You're the one who took it to Persimmons, bro. I was talking about Persimmons, bro.
Bro, you just said you give us I just looked at that right now. Persimmons are so whack. I I'm looking it up right now. It says it's like an ugly color too. Ugh. Now I'm gonna look it up. What's the difference between a persimmon and a tomato?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's the first thing that popped up too.
What's the verdict?
This person don't know what they're talking about, obviously. It's not a tomato, it's a persimmon. Shut up. This person don't know what they're talking about. I'm gonna click on it anyways. Um Persimmons are native to China.
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
They're different. You can't make salsa out of persimmon.
Wait, what?
You heard me.
You're right. Okay. That's all you got?
Do I need anything else?
Okay, I'll read to you what I got from this. Persimmons are native to China. They are cultivated worldwide. In other parts of the country, they are considered to be the worst fruit that has ever existed. They have a cardboard flavor. They're just disgusting. And they are slightly, the flavor is slightly above a tomato. If you ever offered a persimmon, run, because obviously that person's a serial killer and they want to kill you. That's what it says right here on it's not a tomato, it's a persimmon.
A serial killer, bruh.
I'm just saying, man. Hey, y'all out there, stay away from persimmons, man. Have you ever been hanging out with somebody and they said, hey, bro, you want a snack? Got some persimmons. He got some persimmons in the fridge.
Dude, I actually have, bro. AJ, bro. AJ.
AJ did?
Yeah.
AJ's a murderer, bro.
He's like, hey, bro, I got a box of persimmons. You want some?
I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
I think he pours the milk before he puts in his cereal. To be honest.
Hey, there you go. There you go. He's a milk first guy, cereal second, and he offers he eats persimmons on the reg.
He's an offering guy.
He's just a persimmon. If you eat persimmons on the reg, man, that's on you. But take it as you want. I mean, it's just it is what it is, bro. It is what it is.
Persimmons are actually good, though.
Nah, man, I had that. I might have to try. I might have to try one.
Kind of like an apple.
Ugh, but with a tomato aftertaste. It's like
they don't taste like tomatoes.
Bro, I swear to you, because the last time I had a persimmon, I was like in the 4th grade.
Oh,
I ate that thing and I was like, yo, this is disgusting.
But hey, listen here. That kind of just plays back to what we were talking about earlier. Wait, how old are you in the 4th grade?
I sure wasn't 14, I hope.
How old is he when you? Because I was gonna say like how I don't really remember anything from when I was in the 1990s.
Mm-hmm.
Like that could have been like that, you know? Like how do you know if it tastes like a tomato? It's so far ago now, far away now that it might have tasted like a celery.
Don't ruin it. Okay, yeah, you can't ruin it. I was about to say, don't ruin a real fruit for me, bruh. You can't ruin celery. Celery trash.
So, I eat celery daily, bro.
Joe, you trash, bruh. Celery is so trash. But don't your taste buds change like every 12 years?
I used to hate tomatoes. Well, I mean, I like salsa and ketchup, I guess, but I used to hate tomatoes. Like, I don't know what it was, but like if the tomato juice or like seeds would get on my food, I would get all pissed. But then one day I decided to try my burger or sandwich that I was having with the tomato on it, and it was actually pretty good.
No, like I will say this. I rag on tomatoes a lot, but like in the last like 2 years or so, like I've tolerated them more on my food now. They're tolerable. Like I'm not gonna go and grab like a tomato and just bite into that.
Oh hell no! I'll
And
never
then,
do that.
and then
I don't eat a tomato like it's an apple.
yeah, I won't.
That's an actual cereal
Yeah,
killer,
there's
bro.
people that do that though.
Yeah,
I won't.
they got issues.
Yeah, and like have the tomato juice rolling down my cheeks.
Yeah,
It
bro.
just be like, yo, this one's really ripe. I like it. I like these tomatoes. You won't catch me. But like, yeah, if like my mom out here in these streets making tacos and stuff, I'm gonna grab those tomato slices, drop them on there. Or if like I got like a sandwich going on and like, there's some tomatoes that are already cut up, I'll throw them bad boys on top or like on a burger. Before I'd be like, yo, no tomatoes.
Yeah, for real.
But now it's like, yeah, give me that, but keep it on there. You know what I'm saying? Make my life a little more healthier. Come on, baby. So, but nah, not no straight up like the people that order like the cherry tomatoes or not order them, they pick them up from the store and they start chopping on those bad boys. Can't do
No,
that.
like, cause since I decided that I started enjoying tomatoes, I tried a cherry tomato, still trash.
Okay, that's good to know.
Still trash level.
That's good to know. That's good to know. There's still hope for you. It's a little worried with those Persimmons. Like, I mean, yeah.
Persimmons are still flame, bruh.
Shout out to AJ for having a box of Persimmons in the fridge, man. Okay, that's something. That's a what is it? That's like a we need to shout that out. You know what I mean? Despite it being one of the worst fruits there are in the world.
Whoever becomes our 1,000th follower will get a free box of Persimmons from AJ.
And I'll eat 10 Persimmons for our 1,000 subscriber.
You need 10 of those bad boys.
10 of our 100 subscriber. I'll eat 5 of them straight up.
Oh my gosh!
Like that's how that's trying to get that brand going. Persimmons are whack, but if we get 100 subscribers, I'm gonna eat 5 of those bad boys like off tops, just straight up. No, well, give me some water. I'm gonna need water.
Yeah, you're gonna need water.
But like,
sure.
I'm gonna eat the whole thing whole. Like, just take out the green part on top and the little thing in the bottom.
You're gonna shove it down, huh?
No, not whole, but like I'm gonna eat the whole thing. I'm gonna eat the whole thing. So, if y'all want that to happen, and hopefully by that time we'll be doing video. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. I couldn't even put that lie out.
That's like, right. You just eat it on a podcast, and then I'll be there to verify that it's happening.
We could do it live, but it'll be for our 100 subscriber. It'll be like a special episode where I go to Clovis or you go to Sacramento. So it'll be that, and I'll eat 5 Persimmons like during the podcast.
And it's gonna be like I'm gonna make sure that it's happening not during persimmon season.
Ugh.
So then you got the most Bootsy persimmons. I don't know if there's a season either.
Yeah, and I don't know how.
I just assume that there has to be.
I don't think you can put most Bootsy persimmon. It's like funner. That's like you can't be funner than something else or something like that. So you can't be more Bootsy. I think they're just Bootsy in general. There's no difference.
It's gonna be the bootsiest persimmon you've ever had.
There's no difference between like the taste and a perfect ripe persimmon and like a persimmon that's rotten. They're both the same. It's the same. And shout out to Bootsy, bro. I haven't heard that word in a long time. I remember in the 90s that word was all the rage. You'd be like, man, you Bootsy. When we were little kids, I remember somebody called me Bootsy one time, man. That hurt my soul.
That would hurt the soul.
Like I was like, what did I do?
Why am I Bootsy for?
I'm just
what does Bootsy mean?
I know. I still don't even know. I don't know. Let's go to our handy dandy Urban Dictionary.
On the topic of people eating rotten fruit, do you know like when some people be eating those bananas and the peel is like black?
Good topic.
It's like soggy, nasty.
Mm-hmm.
I got issues with that.
Okay, yeah, What is like? I'm having problems with bananas. I'm glad we're on this subject because that is disgusting.
I got issues with that.
Bananas. There's a sweet spot that I can't. If I don't eat the banana in the sweet spot, I can't eat them.
Like when I hit the bruises in the bananas, even if it's like a little one, I make sure I don't eat it because the texture is foul.
Yeah.
It's like something decaying in my mouth while I'm eating it, which is awful. But I guess some people use those super brown ones for a smoothie.
Yeah, the super brown, the super like ripe brown ones are supposed to be used for like banana bread.
What the hell?
Or like
and I'd be eating on banana bread.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to use it in a banana bread. I can kind of understand that, but like if it's like, but like if they're too ripe, I mean if they're not ripe enough. Like I bought these bananas and then like they were yellow on the outside, but they were like, I don't know what the aging process happened, but like I bit into it and it was like hard, like it was like a green banana. That was like it was so nasty, like bananas. The last thing you want to be doing, and this might offend some people, but the last thing you want to be doing is sticking a banana shaped thing in your mouth and have it to be hard. That's the last thing. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to offend anyone here, but as a heterosexual male, the last thing I want in my mouth is a hard banana shaped object. I'm just telling you how I feel. You can persecute me for that, but you can't. That's just how I feel. I'm sorry. So
you ain't never had a popsicle?
Hey man, I don't really have a lot of banana shaped objects in my mouth. Popsicles and fudgicles aren't banana shaped. They're just popsicle shaped. Banana shape has a curve to it that made me a little slight.
I'm pretty sure they have like a chocolate banana freezy thingy.
Yeah, and I've never come across it in my life, and I never will. It's like you think about it. How many banana shaped hard objects have you stuck in your mouth?
Hot dogs.
Still
Polish dog.
No, I don't have no Polish dog. A hot link maybe. But it wasn't. It's not hard like this banana was. This was like I bit into it. It was like it was just weird. It was weird. So I just had to. I don't know. I don't like my bananas hard.
It's a kadoozy.
What?
It's a kadoozy.
What'd you just call me?
Bro, you heard me.
So back to Bootsy. Bootsy. To be whack, outdated, tired, late. Played off, originally street slang from Oakland, California. An example, Tina's get up is straight Bootsy. She won't ever.
Who the hell says get up, man?
She won't ever get no play wearing that whack ass fit. Bootsy, beyond terrible.
That's what it said.
Yeah. Beyond terrible, just horrible. As an adjective. Still, another word originated from the town, aka Oakland, California, USA. That girl thinks she's fine, but we all know she's hella Bootsy.
Hella Bootsy, man.
That's actually the double like California slang. Hella
with the Bootsy.
Hella with the Bootsy. No wonder we both know it because that's from Oakland. So that's like no wonder it can reach out to Sacramento and Fresno area. So that makes sense. But who the hell was saying I was outdated when I was like 7 years old, bro?
You a Bootsy little 7.
Bro, I was outdated when I was 7. Yo, I never had a chance. Yo, you see now I want to change my whole life now. Now that I think about it,
you know what you should have done when you went back in time? Been like, hey, you ain't Bootsy, my man.
Yo, I should have fought that little kid that called me Bootsy. That's what I should have done. Now that I think about it, I'd go back in time
that kid's ass who calls you Bootsy.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna go back in time and find that little kid that called me Bootsy. I'm gonna kick his little ass. There's no reason to be calling I swear to you, I had to have been super young because I remember I was called Bootsy on a playground. And it was I was at I think I was at either in kindergarten, preschool, or Head Start or whatever. There was all the same but different at the same time. So, yeah.
I had never heard of Head Start, homie.
It was either Head Start, preschool, or I don't know. I forgot I was in one of those things. Well, if I was in Head Start, obviously it didn't work because I was a Bootsy ass. I was a Bootsy ass little kid. You know what I'm saying? It didn't work.
Maybe that was why you were at Head Start.
So I could get rid of that tired, outdated,
Yeah.
played out self. Man, little kids are mean, bro.
Bootsy. Bro.
It's the first time I heard that. It wasn't even like, man, little kids are mean. So Carl,
What's up?
You got any closing words out for this episode?
Nah. Just thanks everybody for tuning in for another episode. I'm glad we could get one out, and hopefully we can align our schedules a lot more successfully coming up here, or at least my schedule, because it's usually on my end where I fail to come through in the clutch.
Accountability, something that's not really asked for on this podcast. We don't need that accountability.
I've been a little Bootsy.
There we go. He is Bootsy, but we all Bootsy on this podcast, and that's why it works. Welcome and stay. I hope you guys stay tuned with our Bootsy podcast, Unqualified and Educated. Thanks for tuning in, and we're out.